Look, it wants my sweet potato. You can't have look, there's another there's a whole load of them. It's like Ape City. Run away! Greetings and welcome to Don't Starve Shipwrecked, a new game on the channel once again. I picked this up in the winter sale. It came very highly recommended. I have had quite a lot of fun playing this on my own, and I thought I'd do a quick series on the channel and see how it goes down. Now, this is probably going to be largely unedited, although we'll see how it pans out as the series develops. But really, I was just looking for something nice and quick that I could bang out, because everything else is taking ages to put together at the moment, and I didn't have a lot of time today, so I thought, well, you know what? 20 minutes to record, 20 minutes editing, maybe less, whack it up on the channel. Maybe people will like it, maybe they won't. Call it a pilot. So, without further ado, let us begin. Don't Starve Shipwrecked. I think I only have Wilson unlocked. I do, so we're going to have to play with Wilson, the gentleman scientist. I will conquer it all with the power of my mind. He can grow a magnificent beard. Indeed he can, for he is Wilson, gentleman scientist, and cousin, perhaps, of Wilberforce. Who knows? Anyway, let's play Don't Starve Shipwrecked. Our tale begins as Wilson awakes to find himself stranded on a desert island. Chump? What? Are you talking to me? Was that parrot talking to me? I think it might have been. What do we have here? Part of a wrecked ship. Another part of a wrecked ship. All parts of a wrecked ship. Clearly, some sort of thing has happened here. Possibly, I had a nice nap on the beach, and whilst I was sleeping, a ship crashed into the shoreline. And possibly woke me up. Obviously, that is just a hypothesis. As a scientist, I don't have any direct evidence to support that, but that is my working hypothesis at this time. There could be other possible explanations, I suppose. But I'm not going to waste time investigating them now, as clearly I'm in a survival situation. Fortunately, I'm an old hand at this sort of thing. I have survived in many various situations, stranded deep in unknown places, and indeed not starving. First thing on my to-do list must be to make tools, and for tools I think sticks and flint. Yes, look, we can already construct an axe. So actually, let's do that. Let's make ourselves an axe, and we can use this to start chopping down some of these many trees for wood. Like this big beastie here. It is a mighty tree which has grown on this island for many a year, until Wilson, weird, arrived on the island and decided that not only was he going to chop down the big tree, there's a snake, but also the little tree, possibly a baby of it. Can we kill the snake with an axe? Oops. Kill it. Kill it, Wilson! Don't let snakes push you around. We don't actually want them on. Well, we'll take it. We'll take it. It might be useful in an emergency if I can't find anything else to eat. Of course, I have eaten monster meat in the past, and it didn't taste good. I'll be honest with you, it made me feel kind of bad, and so I want to avoid eating it if I can. But in a pinch, if it's a choice between starving and not starving, but eating monster meat and not feeling very good as a result of it, then I will eat the monster meat. That is just the kind of man that I, Wilson Weird, am, and the sort of things that I will do when in a survival situation, which seems to be more or less the only sort of situation that I ever actually find myself in, which is a little bit odd now I come to think of it, but I'm not going to dwell on that because, of course, dwelling on these things is not a good idea. Look, there's some flint. We want flint. We want more flint. Can we actually... We need 2 flint for a pickaxe. I would like to make a pickaxe as quickly as possible, because getting into some of these rocks and potentially getting even more flint out of them is a good idea. But I'm sure I'll find some around on the ground somewhere, just lying about, waiting for me to pick it up and make use of it in crafting some kind of new and potentially somewhat crude tool, as is my way as a gentleman scientist and survivor. I'm going to chop down this tree because I started. I didn't actually intend to start, but nonetheless, I did start, and so I thought it was best to finish. We'll also chop this one down as well. Why not? I mean, again, it's a tiny tree. We get a little palm frond. I don't know if I can do anything useful with that, but I'm sure I'll be able to come up with something. Maybe some kind of sunshade or something of that nature. Of course, to do anything like that, I will probably need a science machine. And for a science machine, I will probably need gold, because gold, of course, is extremely important to the doing of science in any way, shape, or form. And so once we have that, we'll be able to get cracking on discovering many new and interesting things. For now, I'm just going to content myself collecting basically everything, every type of resource there is on the island. I'm just going to take it and make use of it for my own survival purposes. purposes. It all exists primarily in order to service me. Look, there we go, there's some more flint. Excellent, we can now craft a pickaxe. Haha, now I have a pickaxe. I can smash up stones and hopefully gain yet more flint. And most importantly, most crucially of all, as I was just talking about, gold. Gold, shiniest of metals, or at least quite a shiny metal, and extremely useful. Also, look, limpets. Lovely, lovely limpets. We'll cook those up and have those for dinner later. Once the night comes, which we do need to watch out for as well, because the night is dark and indeed full of terrors, full of terrifying, strange things. What we got here? Lots of good resources there. A couple of coconuts. Large, hairy nuts. There is nothing quite like a set of large, hairy nuts, especially if you crack them open, cook them over an open fire, and have them for dinner. We will almost certainly be doing that a little bit later. Keep chopping all of these trees. I spend a lot of my time chopping trees, actually, now that I come to think of it, now that I reflect upon my various adventures and journeys through all of the assorted places that I have adventured and indeed journeyed. Chopping trees, chopping wood in general, gathering stones, hitting stones with a pick. All of these things are things that I do quite a lot. There we go, look, I can now pick up some stones. I'm sure I'll be able to find useful things to do with those stones. All the rest of this stuff as well. As I said at the beginning, as an old hand at surviving, I'm well aware of the fact that basically you're only as alive as your resources say you are going to be. If that makes any sense at all, which I'm fairly certain it doesn't. I'm fairly certain that I'm possibly already suffering from heat stroke or something. Let's just keep on picking away at the land for now, and keep on gathering as much stuff as possible. Look, it's going to be dark soon. The darkness is coming. The sun, giver of life, is passing below the horizon. I've got a little bit of time though as the sun sets, and I'm going to make the maximum use of it because I want to get as much of this resources gathered here as possible today. Then, if possible, I'll create my camp somewhere where I can continue to work through the night because. Survivors don't sleep. It's not a good idea to sleep when you're surviving. It's best to just stay up 24 hours a day. Now, some might say that that is a recipe to drive a man insane, but I say to them, a whittle. Also, I am going to want to harvest these vines and the bamboo as well at some point in the future. I believe I can use them to craft some kind of seagoing vessel, which of course is very important for myself, for getting around as I appear to be stranded on a desert island, completely surrounded. Look, I need another pick. That's how much digging I have done today. I have worn completely through my first pick. And I shall no doubt get through many more before my survival is done, one way or the other. Which of course makes flint one of the most important resources for me to find. And actually it's probably going to be the main reason why I'm going to have to leave this island, because it's pretty small. Oh, look, there we go. There is a little bit more flint. Also, I've got a seashell that I can't carry. Let's just ignore that for the time being. I need to make my camp. It's really late. I really need to make my camp. I'm going to make it down here, though, so I can actually do some harvesting in the night. There we go. Wow. Look at that for efficiency. Now I just have to craft myself a machete. There we go. A machete made of flint and sticks. And I can... Actually, let's cook up this food first. Create a bit of room in my inventory. That is a large nut. Yes, it certainly is. Large and hairy. And I am going to eat them, and I shall enjoy it, because actually they are a mighty fine foodstuff. A staple, actually, of the survivor, although I have heard that they can cause some diarrhea, as it happens, so I should probably watch out for that. Eat some berries. I don't think I'm going to eat the monster meat. I don't think we're in that dire of a situation just yet. Oh, look out, there's a snake. Behold, a snake is attacking me. I can't run too far because of the campfire. I'm just going to have to... Ow! I'm just going to have to face it. There's another one coming. Where are all these snakes coming from? There's like a horde of snakes trying to attack me on my campfire. How about the dark snake of Hades? All of this monster meat is pretty much useless to me. Now, my plan of being super efficient in the knife has been completely thwarted by all those snakes attacking. It was just being attacked by many, many snakes means I just spent the night fighting rather than gathering things. But now I can do it now. I shall gather all of these vines. It's fine. It is a new day. There is plenty of time before the sun sets again for us to gather all of the vines and indeed bamboo that we need. How much do we actually need here? Oh, hold on a minute. I can create I can create a thatch pack. That's what I need. There we go. Now I've got much more storage space available. That's going to help. You got to remember these things when you're surviving on a desert island. Anything that you can make that makes your life easier, that allows you to gather more of the many resources that you will require for all sorts of different things. These are all worth doing and definitely a good idea. More bamboo. Much like the legendary giant panda, I am entirely dependent on bamboo. At least I am at this stage, for it is needed to craft seagoing vessels to allow me to venture out beyond these shores. In that respect, I suppose it is probably somewhat unlike the giant panda, because as far as I'm aware, pandas do not actually use bamboo for crafting any kind of seagoing vessels, or indeed crafting anything of any real meaning or purpose other than food, because basically they just eat it. I am not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat any of this bamboo, and actually I think the time will come fairly quickly when hopefully I'll be able to move beyond bamboo-based water vessels. Where should we do it? Let's pop it down just up here in the north. I think I can actually construct like a log raft at this point in time, but I'm not going to, because I believe them to be inferior in every respect. Oops. Alright, well, there goes my machete, and I don't have enough flint to make more machete. Do I have any flint at all? I don't. So, actually, it is now imperative that I leave this island, because without flint to make tools, I'm pretty well scuppered. I've got everything I need to craft a fire when I get to a new island. Should we just pick up these things? Might as well. I might as well take them with me. Who knows when, if ever, I shall return to this island, which I shall from now on call Wake Up Island, because that's where I woke up. Yeah, Wake Up Island. It's probably not the best name in the world, but as a scientist, I'm not very good at naming things. I tend to be quite literal. Seaweed. Yes, I will gather seaweed. Seaweed, I believe I can eat. It's not the tastiest of morsels, it has to be said, but when roasted over a fire, it's entirely palatable and certainly is enough to keep me alive. Those big waves there in the north, they kind of worry me a little bit on this little bamboo raft. I don't think that I really have a vessel quite capable of crossing open water just yet, so I'm going to stick to the shallows. I'm sure I'll find another island. I'm very optimistic about this sort of thing, and no doubt it will be covered in all sorts of useful resources for me to gather and collect and make use of, and all of that good stuff. At least that's what I hope. And so Wilson rowed across the seas, rambling quietly to himself, until... Land ho! At last, after an epic journey across the seas. Well, I mean, actually, it wasn't that epic. But I have travelled, nonetheless, a fair distance on my little raft, and it's nice to arrive once again on dry land. In fact, look at this. This looks like, to me, to my scientist's eye, to be something of a lava plain. Oh, look at that. A spider den. I have encountered these creatures before. They are most fearsome if you get too close. But if left at a distance, then they're not too bad. And actually, they can provide some very valuable resources as well. This is a good sign. This actually looks like it could be quite a substantial island. It may have its own thriving little ecosystem that I can harvest for my own uses. These lava plains can be quite useful places as well. Look, there's magma piles. I will have at these magma piles, but I cannot do so just yet because I need to invent something called a shovel, which... there we go. I need to create a science machine, so I must find gold first, that I may do science to discover the mysteries of the shovel. Mysteries indeed. Look. Oh, wait, what's this? What is this? A touchstone. It is a kind of metaphysical life insurance device. At some point, I've been meaning to study these and to find out scientifically what makes them work. But for now, I shall simply allow myself the reassurance of knowing that in the event of my death, the touchstone will activate and I shall be returned to this spot. What I can do here, though, I can use a pick and we can pick away at this bit of stone, revealing gold! Shiniest of golds! The shiny and wonderful gold, enough to make a science machine and to do science, which, of course, is my very favorite thing. Before we do that, I think we'll just continue harvesting up all of the resources that I come across in the meantime, and then I'll find a nice place to set up camp. I have to say, though, this island is looking rather wonderful. I may even call it Wonder Island, because it has the touchstone, it has spiders, which at first glance may not be terribly wonderful, but as I said, they actually provide some useful resource. Oh, no, 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 it's got an ape hut. You damn dirty apes. Apes I have encountered before in my travels, and they have the annoying habit of following me around and grabbing stuff that I want for myself. And, you know, there's only room for one creature which harvests up the environment for its own gain in these parts. Look, it wants my sweet potato. You can't have look, there's another there's a whole load of them. It's like Ape City. Run away! Flee Ape City. This is not a good sign. I'm not sure actually that this is a good island to stay on, although it does have lots of resources and it's got lots of space. Look, I dare not leave it on the ground for long. Maybe I should swap it out for something here. What don't I mind the ape taking? Here, you can have some monster meat. Have some cooked monster meat. You damn dirty ape. And look, it's actually scared him away. He's actually left. We'll build a fire pit. It's a bit more substantial. It's a bit more permanent than the old fire that I created last night. It'll last a little bit longer. We can refuel it if we need to. And yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean this is going to be our permanent home, but certainly we can get ourselves started here and maybe have like some kind of base, some kind of temporary outpost here. I'll get a science machine, I think, just because. Oh, look, he had something. He had something away then. What did you take, you damn dirty ape? Now he's gone to sleep. Typical. That's just typical. Let's cook some dinner first, and we'll sort ourselves out, because I am, of course, extremely hungry. It's been a hard day rowing across the high seas, or at least the low seas. Some kind of sea, anyway. I've gathered lots of seaweed, which we can have. We can also eat these limpets. It's a pretty varied meal, actually. Limpets, seaweed, and sweet potatoes. Actually, only really the sweet potatoes is the nice bit, to be fair. But, you know, what can you do? Not a lot. If you're surviving, you just have to take what is available to you and make the most of it. All filled up. Look at that. I'm nice and full. This is very good. In fact, I'm so full, it's time to do some science. And I shall construct my very first science machine right here. There it is. And do you not think, it may be just because I'm stranded alone here on an island, but it looks kind of like a person, doesn't it? And I'm going to name it Simon. Because look at him. He is a fine fellow. Simon, how's it going? My name is Wilson. I have no friends here, apart from the apes, obviously, and possibly the birds and other things. So I might spend quite a bit of time talking to you, telling you about my day and all that kind of good stuff. I hope you don't mind that. And so Wilson spent the morning talking to his new friend Simon, the science machine, which of course is just an inanimate object used in the discovering of new and exciting things. But Wilson, being already half mad, didn't mind at all. And that is where we're going to have to leave them for now, because our time is up. If you'd like to see more from Wilson Weird, and of course Simon the Science Machine, then leave a like, leave a comment, let me know, and I shall, if it proves popular, continue the series on into the future. But until then, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later. Over here, we've got a little staircase that leads up to the back area. Just down there, you can see a little door. Apparently, the contract called for minion quarters for some kind of minion referred to as an elf, which is of a diminutive stature, apparently. At least this form of elves are. Somewhat more intelligent than my minions, I am led to believe. But back there are the elf quarters. They are absolutely beautiful. I mean, the most incredible thing that you can possibly imagine. But humans aren't allowed in there, and neither are elves, and neither are disembodied metaphysical spirits visiting from other dimensions. So we're not going to go there.